All right. Go ahead, kick this bad boy off. All right, back again. It's Wednesday. This is your boy Chris, aka my Instagram handle, classic_Costello. If you guys want to follow me, go ahead and follow me. Do what you do. But this is the You'll Be Alright podcast. Whatever I say, whatever I do, however you're feeling, it's Wednesday, it's halfway through the week. Just remember, you'll be all right. You made it this far, you can continue pushing on. All right, so first things up that we're going to talk about. So we're going to get to the main topic. Main topic is going to be peace versus happiness. And this one's a pretty sensitive topic for me, more so because of the simple fact that I I feel like they're different. Some people don't feel like they're different, but I feel like they are in fact two separate descriptors of what could be considered, joy or a delightfulness, a brighter side of the future, whatever you want to call it. There's a difference between peace and happiness, and that's just my own thing. But first things up, I do want to give a shout out to everyone that's been watching, especially to my wife, Jasmine, my friend Melinda. They have been extremely helpful with this because honestly, I really didn't want to do it today. But I'm here. Nevertheless, I'm here. Oh, and I found music. Oh my God, I found music. I'm sorry, I got a little bit excited. Wasn't really able to find music that was just gonna get my shit ripped off of YouTube. But I found something. It's actually some pretty decent music. So I hope you guys like it in the background. I got it on kind of like a playlist. So let me know how you feel about that. So my friend Melinda, like I said, shout out to her. She said, I feel like if you are truly at peace, wouldn't you experience happiness as well? Now, I don't feel like that's necessarily true. Because if you look at it from a standpoint where peace comes from. Peace doesn't necessarily have to mean happiness. Peace can be like, I am content and okay with my predicament. I'm not necessarily happy with it, but I'm at peace with it. I am comfortable going through this the way that I am, or getting the strength that I'm supposed to have coming through whatever trial or tribulation that I've gone through. So, peace, yes, it can have happiness to it. However, it doesn't require happiness to have peace. So it's kind of, up here, down here type deal. It is what it is. But like I said, to each his own. At the end of the day, you'll be all right. That's just how it is. I do have to backtrack a little bit because I did get excited about the music. This music thing has been bugging me because it's been like stupid quiet in here. Like I can hear it, but you guys can't hear it. And like going back watching the videos, like, this is so annoying. So backtracking a little bit, I do have to say congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams. Not only did they win the Super Bowl, but they had probably one of the best halftime shows of all time. Not the best, because if I remember correctly, there was a halftime show with Michael Jackson where the guy stood up there for pretty much 7 minutes of a 15-minute halftime show with males and females screaming so loud that he couldn't even perform. So I would say by all means top five halftime shows. I will give it that top five. Uh to say that it's the greatest of all time, not necessarily, but it was a bunch of nostalgia with it. Dre, Snoop, Mary J, 50. I do have to say, you people are really tough on 50 for no reason. Talking about how big he's gotten, he's fat, he's this, he's that. Look, 50 Cent's a multi-millionaire. Multi, meaning this man has not only six, but seven, eight zeros. Get that figures, all of that stuff, millions. Yeah, this man has a bunch of money. What you got? You talking all of this shit and what you got? Yeah, 50 trolls, but at the same time, like you're talking shit about a man that you really don't have the authority to talk about. I'm just saying. And he got up there. Me personally, if you tell me to hang upside down, I'm not hanging upside down. I don't care how fit I am. I'm not hanging upside down. Yes, yes, he will be all right. At the end of the day, all of you will be all right. I'm bashing people, but I'm speaking my mind. I'm speaking my truth. All right. That's just how I feel. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I like to drink. I do have to say this. I don't have a problem. That ain't what I do. I don't have a problem. This is probably my first one, like all week, really. Now that I think about it, I didn't have one yesterday and I didn't have one Monday. Hmm, I'm getting good at this. I'm not an alcoholic. Don't even try me, people. That's not how we going with this. Anyway, back to the Super Bowl. There was one thing that I wanted to talk about. In the Super Bowl, there was one particular person who was talking mad shit, and they ended up losing. If you guys remember last episode, I was talking about Eli Apple. But yeah, I was. Hold on. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Like I said, this is all live stream. This is a podcast, but everything happens live. Like shit happens, life happens. I'll be all right. I just dropped my phone. Fuck. But Eli Apple, going back to his dumbass, he talked all that shit. Talking about this team is sad, this person's sad, y'all suck, this, that, or the other, bandwagon fans, blah, 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 blah. You talked all that shit and couldn't back it up. At the end of the day, you still an ain't shit quarterback. Not quarterback, cornerback. Sorry, fucked up in words there. You was still an ain't shit cornerback. Always will be an ain't shit cornerback. You gave away the game winning touchdown. You in the corner going up against Cooper Cup. Your fault. I don't want to hear it, bro. That's all you. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest because he actually kind of made me mad with that because he came after the Saints. Y'all know Saints Nation all day, every day. Who that? You know, it's what it is. I'm still a Saints fan. I'm an LSU fan. I'm a Southern fan. I'm a UL fan. I'm a ULM fan. Yeah, Louisiana all the way. Pelicans fan. I am a Louisiana boy at heart. I root for Louisiana teams. Look, y'all can bite me if y'all say different or not. Whatever it is, I don't care. You'll be all right. Fuck it. But going back to topic at hand, main topic, the topic of the night. If you guys feel some type of way, go ahead and answer the poll because I do have a poll on my live stream. Look, I'm figuring this shit out week by week. All right, just let me live a little bit. All right, there is a poll. All right, which would you rather? Which is basically the topic of the night tonight. Which would you rather, peace or happiness? All right, we already had a little bit of a discussion. If you have peace, do you have happiness? Well, not necessarily. So, on my views, how I see things playing out, yes, to a certain extent, if you have peace, you have happiness. However, if you have happiness, you don't necessarily have peace. Happiness is more of a temporary thing, whereas I see peace as more of a kind of permanent solution. I kind of put peace in the same category as joy. They always say you don't ever let anyone steal your joy. But at the end of the day, joy cometh in the morning. So you always have joy at some point in time. No one can really steal your joy. Kind of put that in the same thing with peace. No one can really steal your peace. You have to give it up. You have to be able to let someone in enough to screw with your head and your vibe and your spirit to the point where you are no longer at peace. You no longer feel comfortable in what you're doing and how you live your life. Now, with happiness, that's more of a temporary thing. When it comes to happiness, you can be happy for a moment. You could be happy because you got money. You could be happy because you don't have to go to work today. You could be happy because you got a new toy or whatever. Not not a sexual toy, you nasty motherfuckers. Because I know that's where your mind's going. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like something hobby, like a new game controller or something. I call those toys. That's a toy. But I got all kinds of toys in my office. This microphone is a toy. It's something that makes me happy. Now, with this podcast, I'm finding peace. I'm finding comfortability within myself, within public speaking, within being myself within myself, if that makes sense. So with the whole peace and thing, yes, I am happy. I am extremely happy that I'm able to do this. I have all of my toys, I have all of my cameras and lights and all of this stuff. Everything is cool. I love this. But it's the happiness that I'm using en route to find my peace. What is good for me, what is comfortable for me. That's the difference between peace and happiness in my eyes. That's how I feel about it. Uh I see things just a tad bit different. It's not a bad thing, everyone has their own perception of, life. They have their own perception of everything, really, not just life, just across the board. Like I find peace, sort of a peace. It's more of a joy, but I find peace in taking apart and putting back together weapons. Like last week or the week before last, I was telling you guys, I think it was actually last week. I was telling you guys about the competition shooting. I found like all of these weapons that I wanted, and I basically narrowed it down to three weapons. It's a rifle, it's a pistol, and it's a shotgun. And there's a competition that's called three gun competition where you shoot all three: pistol, rifle, and shotgun. So in kind of like preps to, start doing competition and everything, I went to the range. Went to the range, was figuring out a whole bunch of different things, why the gun jams, why it's, doing what it's doing, how to sight it in, how to get good groupings, how to pull the trigger, well, squeeze the trigger correctly, because there is a difference. You don't pull the trigger, you squeeze the trigger. How to get everything like sighted in and ready to go, and how I feel comfortable behind the trigger and being able to move with it. When I came home, when I came back to the house and everything, I took apart the guns. And as soon as I started taking apart the guns, like the puzzle side of me like clicked in, the whole happiness side of like being able to do anything with weapons like clicked in, and like immediately I just like went into my zone. It was a peaceful moment for me. I sat there and I literally cleaned three weapons. I cleaned my rifle and my pistols. I put all of that back together. I took them apart, cleaned them, put them back together, function checked them, put them in storage, lock and key. Soon as I made that lock and I put everything up, I immediately like kind of like bounced back to reality. That peace that I have when I'm one shooting, two cleaning the weapons that I'm shooting, and in three being able to enjoy what I love to the point where it's bliss, where I completely forget about everything that's going on. That is what I feel is peace. That takes the cake. I can't even fully like explain it. It's like one of those out of body experiences, but instead of being out of body, you're in your body, you see everything you're doing, you're touching everything you're doing, but it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it's you. That's what I feel like peace is. And There's some instances where happiness kind of gives you that. That's the same thing that, thrill seekers do. Ride a roller coaster, that endorphin, that adrenaline kicks in, and you're going, 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 and you're happy. You're ready to go. You're ready to do something else. But eventually your body's like, okay, that wears off. You eventually come down from it. And when that happens, your happiness goes away. That's gone. You're just in that moment. When I have weapons, I feel like I'm at peace all the time. I'm comfortable. I'm secure. That's me in my own, skin. But it is what it is. Uh let's see what's next on this list here. All right, so we were talking about peace and happiness. Oh, so I kind of wanted to talk about this a cool little minute, but I never really had the chance of like bringing it up because it wasn't ever really a segue into it. But since we just had Valentine's Day on Monday, February 14th and all of that business and whatnot, uh, I've always wanted to ask the question, like, what is with you people, meaning society as a whole, and pulling pranks on your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, people that you are in a relationship with. Let's just put it that way. People you are in a relationship with who you feel loved and appreciated by and all of that. What makes you want to pull pranks on them to the point where you push them to no fucking end? Like, what? I seen one video where she knew this guy hated snakes, scared to death of them, just hates snakes. She proceeds to record and take a fake rubber snake. It really did look real. But the only reason I'm, really talking about it is because the guy hates snakes. You get what I'm saying? Look, you can say all you want. He'll be all right. But look, he was scared out of his fucking mind. I would have been scared out of mine too. Like, you throw a snake on me, I'm going to fight you. At the end of the day, you'll be all right, but you'll have a black fucking eye. Anyway, back to the story. She proceeds to take this snake and throw the snake on him while he's asleep. I don't know if y'all really understand the detriment in a guy's face, in a guy's life, if you throw anything that scares him onto him while he's asleep. That's a big no-no. That you don't do that. I'm sorry. I gotta take a drink on that one. You're not supposed to do that. I'm sorry. To no man. I don't give a fuck who he is. Don't do that. But anyway, she threw the snake on him and then she woke him up to catch his reaction. He woke up, he saw the snake, he freaked out. He kind of like tried to get it off him, throw it. It fell off of him. He got up and immediately started like running away from it, around the house, around the room, whatever you want to call it, just to get away from the snake. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry about this one. We would have had to fight. We would have had to square up. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry, whatever you want to call it. I would have had to fight. It is just what it is. I would have had to fight. There's no way I would still be in a relationship with someone after you just one played a prank on me that seemed real, extremely real. There's one thing, you put a whoopee cushion under somebody. Okay, cool. Burnt, made a little fart noise. Excuse me, whatever. Go ahead about your business. I'll even go as far as like a Dutch oven. You fart under the covers, pull a head under, make her smell a fart. That's fine. When it comes to the fact that you start doing stuff that's like detrimental to my peace of mind and then your peace of mind on the back end as well, because now I can't trust you and I'm going to show you that I can't trust you. It Come on now. That just seems a bit excessive. Don't do that. That's too much. I'm saying don't do that, but I mean, to each his own. Yeah, he'll be all right. Yeah, she'll be all right. But yeah, don't do that with me. That is not how things are supposed to go. I want to know what you think about it though. Like as an audience who watches this podcast, if you do, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. At the end of the day, I've had to be reminded a couple of times. This ain't for y'all. This is more so for me. But if you want to tag along in my journey, by all means, tag along. I ain't got no problem with that. But for me, as a person that I am, you shouldn't do that to someone, especially to someone that you love. You know that that is a trigger point for you, for them. You know that they're scared of that particular thing, and you do that to them as a prank. Like, nah, sway. Square up. What you want? Backyard, front yard, boxing ring. They got one down the street. We could do that. Whatever. It's cool. Just don't do it, man. Like, if you understand your significant other well enough that you know their triggers, you know what it is that it takes to push them to that edge, why would you? I actually want to hear comments from the audience. So if you're watching this later on, if you're watching it now, give your feedback, give your comment. If you know your partner's triggers, your significant other's triggers, do you, first of all, do you feel it's okay to push those buttons? Is it okay to set off those triggers? Second part to that question, if it is okay to push those triggers, why are you pushing those triggers? And on the other hand, if it's not okay to push those triggers, why push those triggers anyway? I'm actually curious to hear about this one. This isn't even like a you'll be all right type of deal. Like I legit want to know. Like psychology is like something I've been interested in, but I didn't study it in school. More so behavioral science, like behavioral analysis, dealing with how people's minds react to certain situations. That has always fascinated me. Like that is cool. Like I watched the Ted Bundy tapes and I was like, this man has lost his mind. But he didn't. He didn't actually lose his mind. Like he was calm, cool, collected. It was just something he thought was cool. Something he thought that was okay at the moment, I guess. It's weird. I don't know. Speaking of relationships and how you guys react to certain things in your relationship, we're still gonna go back to the main topic, but this is a good segue into that. So stick around for this one. Listen up. I know my guys are really dig on this one, especially some of my brothers. Shout out to the boys out there, especially to my guys back at Dillard, the Epsilon Alpha chapter, Phi Beta Sigma. Love you boys. Uh, but I know some of the little brothers. They really dig on this question because some of them have dealt with it, some of them haven't dealt with it. But you stay in a relationship long enough, you gonna fucking deal with it. All right. So the question is, why do women bash on men who play video games all the time? Well, not even all the time, just a significant amount of time. Why do women bash men for doing that? Especially if you know that he's a gamer before you get in a relationship with him. Like, what's up with that? I I don't get that. Like, I see it on social media all the time. Facebook, Instagram, freaking just on TV in general. Like, it's become a hot topic. Like, people game. And I talked about this last week. I was talking about how, we go from game to game and how there's like this whole war between PS5 players and Xbox One players and or Xbox X players and like why is there a war going on? Like you're seriously? Shouldn't be a war. Stop that war shit. Yeah, you'll be all right, but stop the dumb shit. Anyway, back to the question. Women, if you're in a relationship with a man, or man, you're in a relationship with a man. I'm not judging. Your partner, make it generalized, all right? So people don't, get mad about it. You'll be all right at the end of the day, but I still don't want to like piss people off for no reason. That's not what I do. Anyway, going back to the question. Your partner is a gamer. It is obvious that this person is a gamer. Like they're on a game either like 4 or 5 days out the week. They're online, they're with their headsets, they're talking to the guys or girls or whatever you want to call them, their friends, and they're playing games. They're happy. They're not doing anything stupid. They're not out in the streets doing dumb shit, potentially getting shot. It drastically eliminates the risk of them being out doing dumb shit, cheating, or getting killed. Point blank, period. So, why is it that you feel the need to pick at them and be mad at them and bash them on social media? Or if you don't bash them on social media, just bash them in general, like in public, private, sorry. Bash them in private for playing a video game when you knew that's what that was from jump. You got into the relationship knowing that that's what this was. Or if they change, they feel more comfortable around you. So they feel more comfortable to play the game around you to the point where you are now a part of their peace. You are now a part of their little cocoon that allows them to be themselves around someone else. Not everyone gets the chance to be inside that cocoon. You talking shit about it and you not being happy with that person sitting on the edge of the bed or in their room or on a chair in front of a TV for God knows how many hours because one, you don't like it because you don't get enough attention, or two, you don't understand it, or three, it's the only TV in the house. I don't know why anyone only has one TV in the house anymore, but they're happy and they're letting you inside of their cocoon. Why don't you try to be a little bit more receptive and understanding and try to understand the game with them? I guarantee you, even if it's a Call of Duty guy, and I go back to Call of Duty mainly because that's what I play. I'm a Call of Duty guy. I like to play Call of Duty. I play other games, but that's my main game. So you'll be all right. Trust me, you will. Uh, so Call of Duty. If I'm playing Call of Duty and something happens and my wife doesn't understand it or she wants to play, by all means, pull up a chair, hook up the controller, let's play, let's go. Or, I got her an Xbox so she can play with me and we don't have to do the whole split screen thing anymore, even though uh, they took that off, which I am kind of pissed off about. They took away split screen. I like split screen. I don't know why y'all took it off, but it is what it is. Y'all make y'all money, do what y'all do. I'll be all right. You'll be all right. Anyway, if she has a question, I have no problem answering her question. I pull the headphone off, real quick, pull it off, I answer her question, and at the end of the day, I'm still playing my game. I'm still doing what I'm doing. She wants to play with me, she'll play with me. Y'all, y'all, I don't think y'all really. Hold on. Look, gaming is almost like a sacred art. All right. You don't have to be, the best thing. Think of it like uh shit. Ah, think of it like magic. Magic is a sacred art. When you first start off in the whole, magic, you doing spells and learning different things like that, all of that, whatever. Uh, you start off at the bottom of the totem pole. You start off at like a student level, and you figure out what's good for you, what you're good at. You expound on that, and kind of build up your weaknesses at the same time. As you get older and the more you practice, the better you get. Now, everyone's not finna be out here like a fucking Doctor Strange or Harry Potter or some shit out here casting off thousands of demons and shit like that as a magical wizard or whatever. But you can be like a Neville, you know? You could be a Neville, you can be oh man, what was this? Wong, you can be a Wong, assistant to, Doctor Strange or whatever, You can be those people. You don't have to be professionals at it. You don't have to be out here streaming and playing video games and stuff like that. No, you got to be all that. You can be an average person playing video games. But if that's what you do, that's what you do. And that's your craft. That's your sacred art. That is something that you feel enlightens you and it's your piece. Which again, it's a segue back into the main topic, the difference between peace and happiness. Most gamers, and I'm not speaking for all gamers, like I said, most gamers, most real gamers, REAL, real gamers. You fake gamers, you'll be all right. You figure your shit out. Real gamers, most of them, they are at peace playing a video game. No matter what video game it is, whether it's racing, fighting, shooting, uh, RPG, MMRs, all of those, they are at peace playing video games. Just like I'm at peace shooting rifles and pistols and shotguns and all kinds of other weapons, I'm at peace with that. Other people are at peace, writing, stories. Other people are at peace making money. Other people are at peace just sitting in a quiet space with no one around, with them and their own thoughts. That's just how it is. I mean, you can't really beat anybody up for, being at peace. And yes, happiness can follow peace. But like I said before, peace can't follow happiness. One is more permanent than the other. The other is a hell of a lot more temporary. You can be happy, but happy doesn't always equate to peace. Most times it doesn't. I would say about a good 99% of the time, happiness is just that. It's happy. At that particular moment, it's temporary. That's what you get. That is happy. Peace, peace is different. I mean, what do you consider peaceful? What do you consider in your life peace? What is so comfortable to you? Your thoughts, your actions, your life in general. What do you consider peace? And if there's something different, let me know. What's something different? Is it joy? Is it blissfulness? Like what other adjectives do you describe the difference? What's permanent and what's temporary? I guess that's a better question to ask. What is permanent and what is temporary? Hmm, that's actually a good question. I'm gonna write that down for my next podcast or a further down the line podcast. I got some other topics I need to talk about, but it is what it is. You'll be all right. So I wanted to talk about this because somebody brought this to my attention and I wasn't really entirely sure how to feel about this. Um, so one of my friends, we were talking about uh stuff that we were, striving to do. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I want to get this podcast started and, kind of see what happens with it. Now that I'm actually doing it, it's really more so for myself. Like I'm actually feeling pretty good about it now. Now that I think about it, I'm doing what I'm doing and, talking on a video. I'm actually getting comfortable hearing my own voice in my head for like an hour. It's pretty cool. Anyway, back to the topic. Uh, I was talking to my friend about it, and they brought up that doing a podcast is the same thing as OnlyFans for females. A male podcast is the male version of. Wait, how do I explain this? Hold on. Podcasts are the male version of OnlyFans for females. There we go. That's what I was getting at. Now they told me this and I was kind of hurt about it, but at the same time I was all right. You'll be all right. uh, I didn't really know how to feel about it. I kind of felt weird about that one. Uh, Podcast is the male version of an OnlyFans account for females. And then I started thinking about it. Like, I don't like being one of those persons who hears something and automatically just like throws. Yeah, like a campsite. That too. I don't like throwing, people's opinions to the side and no. If you want to tell me something, by all means, tell me. I'm gonna try to understand it as best that I can. However, if I feel like you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. But I started thinking about what they told me, and in thinking about it, I was like, you know what? They're actually kind of right on that one. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a podcast, like a streaming service, period. Like Twitch, YouTube, uh, Tumblr, Reddit, like all of these like different sites and stuff that you kind of put yourself out there on video for other people to see. It's kind of like the same thing as what females do with OnlyFans. Only difference is I don't make money off of this. You're right though. Never really wanted to do this for money. And like I said, this is more so for me. Peace of mind for me, comfortability, mental health type deal for me. I get to talk my shit and be comfortable talking my shit. But I actually like to share my shit with other people. I guess that's kind of the difference. But I can't ignore the fact that, they were right. It's kind of the same thing. I wish I made as much money. I mean, I'm not doing it for money, but if you want to pay me for it, hey, by all means, go ahead, pay for it. Get a better setup, get a better camera. I mean, I'm not gonna get a better camera than this. This is a 4K camera. Can't get no better than that. Unless they come out with an 8K. And if you want to buy me an 8K fucking webcam, by all means. I'm not buying one right now. I ain't got the money for it. But I got my mics. Mic is pretty cool. Got this little pop filter. Kind of look professional and stuff like that. Kind of know what I'm doing. I got my lights. Oh, speaking of lights, my lights wasn't my batteries weren't all the way up there, so I just turned on my ambient office lights. See how it worked. It's actually not that bad. Now that I'm looking at it, on the actual screen and everything, it actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, kudos to me. But I'm gonna go back to the main topic for like the next couple of minutes or whatever. Come talk to me. Share your opinions about it. Show me what your difference is. Show me what you feel is the more permanent solution to peace and happiness, or the which one is more temporary than the other. I kind of want to stay on the main topic because I get too far off and then I start losing topics that I could talk about, later weeks coming. But yeah, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Peace versus happiness. Which one do you prefer? Which one would you rather? Type deal. This is always, always, always a safe space. At the end of the day, you'll be all right. Whoever decides they want to comment some stupid shit, I will be okay. They will be okay. I have no problems with that. I just don't need you to say no dumb shit and get my stuff taken off of YouTube. Then we got a problem because now you're fucking with my whole jive over here, and I don't like that. Let's see. I feel like with both, you have to constantly pursue and fight to maintain them. They are both subjective as well. That they are definitely both subjective. Uh, yeah, in a sense, you have to fight, but I don't necessarily call it fighting. I think it's more so managing. If you manage correctly, you don't have to fight to keep it. Anything that is worth keeping, you don't have to necessarily fight for. Well, anything that's meant for you to have, you shouldn't have to fight for it. But if you want it, yes, you will have to fight for it. But I think between peace and happiness is more so maintaining your vibe and maintaining your surroundings to keep peace and happiness around you. Not necessarily fighting, because if I gotta fight you, if I gotta fight anything to maintain my peace, I feel like it has to go anyway. People, things, you know, situations. If I have to figure out how to maintain whatever it is with these people, relationships, jobs, whatever, if I have to fight to maintain my presence there, I'm already sacrificing, I should say. I'm already sacrificing my peace and happiness. It's At that point, it's not worth it. And that even goes for family members. I could throw that shit in here too. I'm not fighting against family members for my peace. If you want to be bitter and unhappy with your life and not communicate and not deal with me or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit, by all means, go do your thing. You're not finna get no reaction out of me. You want to be a bitch? All right, cool. Go be a bitch. I ain't got nothing to do with you. You want to try and use me? All right, you can try. You only use me if I let you. That's just how that goes. And if I just so happen to let you and I find out that it's more of a negative consequence for me than it is for you, now I really need to cut ties with you. I'm not a revenge type person. I don't like to go tit for tat. I used to at some point in time, which is another part of me having this podcast, because I could tell you guys like how I used to be and how I am now. Like back in the day, like around the start of high school, I was like really vindictive. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I was back to back tit for tat with people like all day, every day. Like I was petty. I didn't have no problem. Oh, you want to do this? All right, cool. You want to post this on social media? All right, cool. Let's go. I got all day, every day. Let's go. Nowadays, I don't have that energy. I don't have that time. So when it comes down to certain things like a post on social media or a two-way communication path, if I feel like that is for me, all right, cool, it's for me. let it go. But if I feel like it's too much, it's a one-way thing, sever it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, you'll be all right. Ah, that makes sense. All right. So the comment was in a sense of people attacking your peace. Now, in the sense of people attacking your peace, yes, you have to fight those people for that. Now, in fighting those people, I feel like there's a line that you draw where if you fight these people, okay, you keep them at bay, but it's to keep them on the other side of that line where your peace is. If you start jumping on the other side of that line to push people farther and further away from your peace, you're you're basically giving up your peace. Like it's think of it as like a circle. Like we all seen that SpongeBob episode where they're like trying to stay away from the sea bear and they draw the circle in the sand and then they sit inside the circle. That circle that they drew is your piece. All right. So if you're inside that piece and you're pushing things away from where you see it, it's in front of you, you're pushing it outside of your circle. If you start going outside of your circle behind you, there's a whole nother section of circle that you just let go because you're not in your circle to defend it. You're not in your piece to protect it. So yes, in the sense of fighting people who are attacking your peace, yes, you have to fight those people off. You have to maintain your peace. You have to fight for your peace. However, as a person, as an individual who has peace or has happiness, you have to understand where that line is and where you need to push and then stop. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that a lot of people have. And I'm not saying like it's a huge problem, but there are certain things that you see within a person's behavior where they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to stop being petty. They don't know when to stop being immature. They don't know when to stop being angry. They don't know when to stop being so fucking prideful. Like there's a moment where that shit is okay, but you have to stop at some point in time. Like there's nothing worse than being so overdriven on one thing, so one track minded to where you can't see outside that one path. Yes, life is a journey and life takes you on a path, but that path is extremely wide. If you narrow it to one foot in front of the other, you will never divert and do anything extra. You will never do anything different. You will never experience anything outside of that one little swim lane that you have. You have to be able to understand the concept that not everything that happens to you is a negative thing. Not everything that happens to you is a good thing either. You have to be able to see the good and the bad. Keep it all together in one, but make sure that your blinders aren't focused too far in. You have to have blinders, yes, but at the same time, you have to make sure that they're wide enough to where you can see different things coming, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's a negative experience that you're seeing coming from a far away and you need to avoid it, or you see the end goal of where you're going, and that's where you need to put your energy. Peace versus happiness, man. Like you have to be able to understand the difference. You have to be able to keep it, maintain it, fight for it, but ultimately you have to understand where to draw the line and stop dealing with certain situations because your peace is more important. Your happiness is more important. How you feel about yourself, how mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, how you feel about you is the most important thing to you. Yes, you will be all right because you wake up the next day and you keep pushing, you keep doing what you're doing. But you also have to have that fortitude to to maintain and fight for what you feel is good for you. Point blank, period. All right. So we're down to the last, what looks like 8 minutes and some change, or 7 minutes and some change, going into the final portions of the podcast. So, like we always do, we, go back and we recap. So, main topic, of course, we all know, which would you rather? Peace versus happiness. Which one would you rather do? Comment, underneath the video. Let us know how you feel about it. Ooh, how you feel about peace versus happiness. Uh, we also talked about the Super Bowl, one of the best halftime show of all time. Not the best one, but one of the best. I would definitely give it top five. And of course, I talk shit about Eli Apple because he's a trash cornerback. Always has been a trash cornerback. Always will be a trash cornerback. And he is the reason why the Bengals lost the Super Bowl. Just putting that shit out there. Uh, we also talked about playing pranks on your spouse or significant other. Why do you guys do that? Why do you insist on pushing buttons, setting off triggers for people that you say that you love and you care for? But you pull these pranks where you're pushing people to the edge of their fear. Not cool. You'll be all right because I'm talking shit about you. They'll be all right because they're still living, hopefully. I'll be all right because it's not my house, not my problem. But I still would like to talk about it. I like talking about things. That's just who I am. Let me open up this list and see what else we was talking about. Uh, Gamers, yeah, people playing video games. So husbands, boyfriends, partners, whatever you want to call them, they're playing video games and you're bashing them for it. Like you're legit talking shit either in private to your friends or on public social media or in public in general, talking shit about him. Like he always on that game, blah 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 blah. Look, you got you got a couple of different options. Best option, sit down and play with him or ask him questions. That's your best option. Stop giving these people shit for playing video games because you feel like you deserve more attention or you want, something else for them. They're their own individual person. They They are not a Siamese person. You are not attached to the head or the hip or whatever to this person. You are your own individual person. They are their own individual person. Leave them the fuck alone. If you can't handle a gamer, fucking get somebody else. Point blank, period. You'll be all right. They'll be all right. I'll be all right because I'm a gamer. All right. And I feel like that was the last of what we were talking about. Oh, that wasn't the last thing. Last thing we talked about was podcast being the male version of OnlyFans for females. Uh, in a sense, it is. However, I don't get paid like these bitches on OnlyFans. I'm not bashing them by no means. Make your paper. Do what you got to do. Everyone is out here to make money. There's enough money to go around for everybody. Stack your paper how you stack your paper. But I don't get paid like them. So this ain't no OnlyFans. Ain't nowhere close. And trust me, if I start getting paid for this, I ain't taking my clothes off. Try again. You'll be all right. I'll be all right. Everyone will be all right. All right. So it's down to the last 4 minutes, 3 minutes and some change, because this thing keeps rolling and all of that whatnot. So last 4 minutes and some change, 3 minutes and some change. Sorry, 3 minutes and some change. Uh, do my normal plug at the end of the podcast. I am streaming this on the Cultural Revolution Studios page on YouTube. Go check out the short film. A woman's work short film. Sorry, kind of went blank there. A woman's work short film. Go check that out. Also, the other 2 episodes are up, ready to go, ready to watch. Go check those out as well. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it to all of your friends. Let everyone know. Come talk to me. Have some fun on the podcast. This will be every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Pacific time, for all of you illiterate motherfuckers, specific time. This will be 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, right here, streaming live on the Culture Revolution Studios page on YouTube. It will be here from now on. Make sure you tell your friends, come check us out, like, subscribe, share it, do all that good stuff. Again, behind me are my good, prints and everything. If you like them, cool. If not, it is what it is. It's a project that I did back in the day, couple of actually a couple of months ago, almost a year ago, where I wanted to capture, the grill scene. Everyone has a grill. Everyone likes having grills. It's more of a Florida thing than anyone, but it was popular and it's still popular, and it came from the black culture. So I thought I'd capture it and put it on a canvas. These are what came about from it. So if you like it, cool. If you want one, cool. Let me know. Hit me up, DM me, whatever. If you got my number, text me. I'll sell you a print, $20 a pop. Let's go. I ain't got nothing better to do. I just wanted to give like a little bit of background. So Wednesdays, I chose Wednesdays because they're the middle of the week. And I believe I talked about this last week, but I like talking about it because that's how it is. It's a mental thing. You feel me? So Wednesdays are the middle of the week. This is like a little talk podcast where you will be all right. It's a motivational type thing. Like you talk about different things, you feel different ways. At the end of the day, you will be all right. This is Wednesday. You got the rest of the week to come. You've made it through Monday and Tuesday. You're here Wednesday. You've obviously made it through Wednesday. You will be all right. You got 2 more days to the weekend. You got Thursday and you got Friday. Keep pushing. You got this. We all got this. I got this. You got this. Everyone else in the world got this to a certain extent. People die every day. I'm sorry. That's just how things happen. They'll be all right because I'm pretty sure most of them, do what they did, whatever. That just got awkward. That was really awkward. Anyway, you'll be all right. I'll be all right. Everyone will be all right. It is what it is. I'm trying to talk to the last like second of it, but that shit's hard. Look, you guys have fun. You guys, do what you do. At the end of the day, you'll be all right. Follow me on Instagram, classic_Costello on Instagram. I am Chris. This has been the You'll Be All Right podcast. Peace.